China, Russia, and Iran solidify relations, as you can see in an article linked up on Mark13News.com for March 26, 2024. And as you can see in the article, in recent years, the post-Second World War global order has come under assault both directly and indirectly in a new wave of gray zone or hybrid warfare, which has resulted in the creation of parallel network of economic, political, and strategic organizations and arrangements to challenge the U.S.-led post-war global order. Adding to this seemingly coordinated pushback against the U.S.-led world order, Putin's Russia and Xi's China have equally sought to directly subvert and undermine the legitimacy and reputation of the United States and its multilateral international organizations that serve as the foundation of this order. But really, it's the Kenites on the multipolar end of the globalist spectrum through Russia, China, and Iran, as opposed to the unipolarist Kenites who, for the most part, control the West, as nation continues to rise against nation, meaning the Kenite nation rising up against itself through two warring factions within the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8, which is symbolic of the Kenite shadow government, bringing about the formulation of the Ezekiel 38 confederacy, which will become the bear of Daniel chapter 7 at the woe of the fifth trumpet when Satan and his angels get cast from heaven to earth, Daniel's fourth beast being exclusively supernatural, having 10 horns, which are symbolic of 10 fallen angel kings. And it's also at the woe of the fifth trumpet that the he-goat of Daniel chapter 8 becomes the leopard of Daniel chapter 7, which is symbolic of the Kenites and their 4 hidden dynasties, providing the infrastructure of the one world system that won't come into being until the woe of the fifth trumpet. First as a one world political system, which then gets wounded to death, most likely by one or more of the countries on one of the 7 continents declaring independence from the so-called New World Order, which wounds the entire system to death, because without all the countries of the world participating, it can't be a global government anymore, obviously. And after the deadly wound is when Satan appears as the Antichrist at the woe of the sixth trumpet, which is when most Christians begin worshiping Satan instead of Christ, which is what Antichrist means. The lion of Daniel chapter 7 being symbolic of the Christian nations, but they'll become non-Christian nations at that time. The true Christ won't return at all until 2.5 months later at the woe of the seventh trumpet, and as the true Christ says in the last verse of Mark chapter 13, what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch.